listening to Kane, Randy, and Brooke on Scratch the Vinyl.
Scratch the vinyl.
All right, Scratch the Vinyl listeners, welcome back to the show. We're so glad you guys made it back, and we've got a massive guest on our hands. That's right, everybody. We have a huge show planned here for you guys. But before we get into that, I got to tell you, we have to bring back the Big Red Machine. She was gone last show, and we gave her a lot of shout outs, but it just wasn't the same. So we want to definitely bring back the Big Red Machine on this, everybody. We missed her last episode. We gave her a lot of shout outs, but it just wasn't the same without our red lip friend, the lady that steals our hearts all the time, the witchy lady. Brooke, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Kane. Thank you, Randy. I can't wait to talk to our guest today. And I did listen to your guys' episode like 50 times. I was laughing my butt off. And thanks for all the shout outs too. And I will bring lasagna for the next show.
Wasn't Ted an awesome guest? I mean, Ted was so fun and so it's nice talking to all these metal guys. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't think that these guys are so sentimental, you know what I mean? These guys are so just in tune with their feelings, but they really are. And Ted is no different. We really needed you on that one, Brooke. It was a sausage fest we had going on there.
Oh boy, you know what? It's always a sausage fest. What am I talking about? Come on now. Except for today. Now you guys are equal. And I can't wait to announce. Well, all right. How you doing, Randy?
I'm doing wonderful. And yes, it's great to have you back, Brooke, as always. And yes, we're all excited about today's interview. So I did want to tell you guys a little bit about my Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, we gotta know, Randy, because I noticed those pictures and those videos that you're posting, man. And I'm gonna tell you, I saw that you were out there maybe camping in the rain, and I felt like it looked pretty miserable. How was it?
It was a blast. Well, Kate knows that I've been a little down in the dumps lately because it seems like all I do is work. And I've been telling him I was looking forward to doing some camping it's Labor Day weekend. And the forecast was nothing but rain. And so I kind of skipped out on Saturday. It was going to be gloomy, but I said no matter what, Sunday I'm going out. And we spent the day out at the lake. We grilled out, but my favorite thing is later on that night, it started raining. We had the big tarps. We had this huge bonfire. And because the rain wouldn't let up, we just put on our favorite 90s music and sang around, just kept singing around a bonfire until, 6 in the morning.
Randy, I was going to ask you if you maybe played some Prince. Purple Rain come to mind. Did you play any of that? No. We won't get into that anymore.
We should have, but I didn't. We were pulling out some just classics that I hadn't heard in a while.
I
Kind of,
I think you did. It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men.
That's what would have happened if you would have been there. And you would have been, Randy, give me the mic.
100%.
But it was it's better than karaoke when we just all get to sit around the bonfire. But it was like perfect. There was no wind, yet we're literally surrounded by rain, and we're just kind of in this small area, just singing, keeping this fire going. And man, it was a blast. I totally needed that grounding, that little outdoor grounding that we talk about every once in a while. That got to keep that positive energy going and find our center again.
Was there a guitar? I mean, did you guys get all kumbaya out there?
We couldn't pull out the guitar because it was raining, but we did have the boom speakers connected to the Wi-Fi, and that was good enough.
Sounds like a blast. Well, really, no, the rain does. I couldn't do it, Randy, and I know because I went fishing on Friday night that the mosquitoes were out. I mean, they know that their time is almost up here, and my legs are covered in it. So I hope that they didn't get you like they did me.
How many bar flies I've had to kick out of the bar? I mean, literally flies. Yeah, they're all over. Those damn bugs need to go away.
Well, as always, we just get toward the end of August, first part of September, and we just go from like this massive summer heat, and then like, man, I love this time of year. We start getting a little rain, and it just that perfect 70 degrees with a cool breeze. It's my favorite time of year.
Well, guys, I had this massive intro planned where I was going to talk about football being back and fall's back and Taylor Swift got engaged, but I throw all that crap out there. We have a huge guest and I say we move on to that right now. I can't wait anymore. We're looking at her and we got to get her on right now. So without further ado, everybody, we have Jadyn Cree Olesen. Welcome to the show. Jadyn, how are you?
Good. How are you?
And I am so pumped. I've been working on Cole Moore for a while to get you. I went to a concert with him. I played guitar at his house. We've been talking about you a lot. Your ears had to have been ringing a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, I've been excited. I just heard about this podcast actually through Brooks, I believe, son, I think. And then ever since then I was like, it'd be super cool. But I didn't know like who you guys were, so I didn't know who to ask. And then you guys asked, and I was like, cool, yeah, let's do it.
When you came to Lincoln and you were downtown at the rail yard, and I came up to you and I was like, hi, and I felt like that kitty, like I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like the old weird lady. They're like, you need to kick her out. I'm like, oh, Jadyn, hi. You want pictures? And I went and got your dad. And we did. It was very nice. It was nice of him to do that because you're like, I can't do any interviews right now. And I go, but you will, right? Like, oh my God, leave her alone. That poor girl.
Yeah, that one was definitely one where it was kind of iffy because and even afterwards, they were still a little bit confusing on the whole interview stuff. Like, it made it sound like we were still supposed to ask them we had to always go through like an NBC publicist that was like assigned to each team. But thankfully now I think we're just like in the clear. We can just do whatever we want. So
that is so cool, man. So when you found out, like, tell us that whole experience of when you found out you were going to be on. Like, what was going through your head?
Well, so they had like emailed me and was like, would you be interested in auditioning? Like after I had sang on my dad's episode. And so that was like, and I get the years mixed up so much. I think that was October of 2023, I want to say. And then I was like, yeah, sure. And I like sent in videos and whatever and did all the audition stuff. And then I forgot about it. And then they had been like trying to call me like in the January of 2024 of like, hey, like we want you to come to Blinds, like you made it to Blinds. And I just am not usually a person that looks at her voicemails until now, like I've learned. And either my emails because I've had the same email since I was in like 5th grade. And so I have like 42,000 unopened emails. Like I just don't go through it. And so finally I don't know what made me go to my voicemail, but I listened to it and then I was like, oh shoot. And I called him back and yeah, we got to go fly out there. And actually they fly out like, I want to say like 90 of us to start like in June. And then from there, we're out there for like 2 weeks and they send you back. And then they bring some of those people back. So you still could get cut there. And plus like there's like 28 people that got cut like a day or two before the Blinds, like where you actually go in front of the coaches. So there's only about like 60-ish of us that actually get to like go up on the day. And then obviously, depending on which season it is, 40, 48, however many will get chosen. And if you're on the last day and the teams get filled, it's kind of a tough luck situation. So the last day is like the scariest one to be on for sure.
Well, just to remind our followers that you were on season 27 and with a lot of great coaches and going in, did you have a preference going in beforehand? Was Michael always on your radar?
He was not actually, because neither was Kelsey. So John Legend was kind of on my radar because I was like, that'd be kind of cool. Like my dad was on his team, then I can be on his team. And then obviously Adam Levine is super, super cool and kind of fits my vibe. And but Michael Buble, I just Christmas music, like that's cool. I never like knew him as a person. If I saw him in a crowd of people, I would never be able to be like, that's Michael Buble. Like it wasn't like somebody that was completely on my radar. I obviously knew who he was. And then Kelsey Ballerini, I had no idea who she was because I just don't listen to country music really at all. I couldn't Taylor Swift is probably the most recognizable country artist. She doesn't even do country anymore. So other than that, I have no idea who anybody is. And so, yeah, those are the ones that turned. And honestly, I was thinking about going with Kelsey when I had to kind of choose. But then Michael started talking, and he was just like being like, "Oh, you're gonna be a star. Like I'm gonna be there when you sign your first like record deal, like all this stuff." And he's pretty good at talking, and he definitely swung me over, and I chose to be on his team, which I think that was the best decision for me ever. So
Well, he started talking about his girls and then how much he loved, like, you're gonna go, you're gonna do this. And I would have did the same thing. I'm like, Dad, you know, your dad was like, he's a good guy. Go over
Well,
there.
that's what it felt like because I've always had that support from my own father. So I was like, just to know that he has daughters, and like felt like this, even if it was played up a little bit, I feel like it has to be somewhat genuine because I mean, I feel like I'm personally not a father, but I feel like if I was a father and I had girls, I wouldn't like I think you would have that kind of connection, and I think that he kind of had that with seeing my dad up there and definitely wanted to take care of me, which is I'm very thankful for and I'm very lucky for as well.
I agree with you. When I was listening to that, when he was talking, I was just like, oh, pick him, pick him. But then you're like, oh, should I pick the chick? Like, but that was a good choice. And then when you did meet him for the first time and like actually get to talk to him and, be around him, we're like, what was that like?
It was great. I mean, from the start, like I'm a very awkward and like goofy person, and he's just the exact same way. And he's literally just a girl dad. And so it was very, very easy to talk with him. And like I was just kind of like my weird self, and he immediately would do just weird stuff back to me. And I was like, okay, we're cool. Like this is gonna be fun. Like we're we're gonna be best friends. It'll be great. So yeah, I got really lucky that I got someone that could just be a dork with me the whole time. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, you could definitely tell that Adam felt like he screwed up afterwards. Like oh man, I should have definitely turned. And I think he referenced several episodes as it went along. He's like, would have totally fit his vibe as well. But what I've always loved is all the coaches always seem to be really good. Like they really get into it. And I think that's probably why the show's so successful is that the coaches do come off fairly genuine, I think. And of course, John Legend probably then really felt like he screwed up, but he did recognize you, and he's like, "I know I've seen you." And then as soon as you said it, he was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
what a moment for TV right there!"
Yeah, for
And then
sure.
your dad's jumping up and down, all excited, comes running out. I thought that was just great for the show,
I'm
honestly.
not gonna lie, your dad made me cry, like
Oh.
literally cry, because I have all boys, and I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, his daughter's up there, and then I'm like, okay, turn it off, Brooke. It's 2 a.m. It's like the 10th time you've watched all this. It was really emotional. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was I mean, it's just such a unique experience. Already being on the show is just an insane experience, but let alone being able to like share that with like your family member or dad, and just also knowing both sides because like I was his friends and family, so I got to experience all of that side, and then I got to go and experience everything that he did, and then he got to experience everything that I did on the other side, and so it's just like we both got both sides of that, whether you're friends and family or you're actually competing. And so that's just like a super insane, unique experience. And for both of us to get to the finale too, like we both got to experience the entire thing, which was just a blessing. And I'm super thankful for that. And it's just insane. I still sometimes don't feel like it's ever happened because it's just insane to say, but it was really cool.
But having your dad for that support, it had to have just helped so much. Did you get any grief for people like, oh, she's only on there? And then you started singing, and then they were like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of a little bit because NBC just kept panning over to my father every single episode, and like I think that would have been fine for like the first two, but I think that since they kept doing it and did it so often, I think it was like not until the last episode maybe or something that they just didn't say anything about my dad. So I think that kind of was like people were making comments about that and like, oh, she's only there because of her dad. One comment said that he paid them off. I was like, girl, my dad does not have that kind of money. Like I'm like, do you know how much they pay these coaches? Like no one's paying them for me to be here. So
Some people are so ridiculous, though. You just have to, like, we were talking about people, trolls coming on and saying stuff. I just didn't even read it. I don't even care. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do my thing. And, I mean, we do have the the suck knob or whatever, the button
Mhm.
where, or Kane can just edit some of the crap that I say. But, it's all in good intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah, those damn trolls, I don't like any of them. But anyways,
Well, and people like what you see on TV is just, and it's nice for me because now when I watch other like reality TV shows, I know how much is cut, how much can be manipulated, how much like it could be day to day difference, but there's still just like continuity. They still look the same, even though it could be different. Like people, it's just stitched together. And so it's like just because of that, I have a lot more grace for people sometimes on television, and you can notice a lot more of like, oh, this was clearly different days, and they're making it seem like this is like right after each other. But like even for me, like at least in my experience, it did not feel like the show was pushing me to like get on a team at all. Like they put me on the last day of auditions. Almost all of the teams were full. Like I didn't think I was gonna make it. Like there's like 6 people that went after me that didn't even get to audition because like teams got full. So it's like they weren't like, oh, let's put Jadyn on the first day so she have the best chance to like hopefully get on team so we can have this dad-daughter story. Like they didn't care. It was more like this would be cool if it happens. If it doesn't, whatever. We have other stories. Like I mean, it's NBC. Their finances are not relying on me and my father's story on the show.
and you did it. And that is what is so freaking cool. I'm just in awe of you. And you're 20, how old are you? 24?
24. Yeah.
Most people get, oh, I'm just in awe of you.
Aw, thanks.
Well, you did "Still Into You" by Paramore,
Mhm.
which one of my favorite bands, and I thought you killed that performance. I mean, I thought that was a perfect perfect audition song, and I know that that can be tough for a lot of singers to kind of know what a good song could be for coaches to get you noticed, and
Mhm.
especially like you're saying now when it's kind of toward the end, the coach that might gravitate to that might already be full, and you have no idea if it even work. How did that
Mhm.
process go for you to kind of pick that song and feel like that would give you the best chance?
That one was actually like once I started singing it, did not want to do that song. I personally do not think that my voice fits that song very well. But so since I had like not been getting the voicemails and stuff, like I only had like a week to send in like 20 songs that I maybe would be able to do from their list. So like they send you a list of songs that are pre-approved songs, and then you have to choose from there. So and I'm a person that listens to a lot of like alternative and like just not super like popular radio music. And so when they gave us this list, I'm like, I don't know half the songs on here. So I'm just trying to really find songs that I know and then put them on the list. And then I didn't like have time to like sing through all of them and like make sure I could actually do them well. I just had to hope for the best, and that's the one that ended up getting chosen for me. And the second I started singing, I was like, oh no, I don't like this. This is too high for me. But love that song, but she's the one that has to sing it. Haley Williams is such a good singer that's her song. And thankfully I got a chair turn. But if I were to do it again, that would not have been my first song for sure.
From a musician standpoint, what makes me jealous when I watch is that band that they have is unreal, right? Like, I mean, they can literally play anything and they can change it to match any of the singers better than any band I've ever seen. So how was that for you, knowing you had the best band in the world behind you? And this is a two-part question, okay? And also, I want to know who kind of fed you some of the other songs. Did you have a lot of your choice behind them, or was it all your coach?
So the first part of that question, I mean, it's a little bit intimidating 'cause they are so good at what they do, but it's also kind of nice because you don't have to worry about them. But you're also like, I want to do them justice. I mean, they're such an amazing band. I mean, even for example, for my dad's episode, like that wasn't planned. Me singing up there wasn't planned. They had no idea what I was gonna sing. Nobody knew what I was gonna sing. I barely knew what I was gonna sing. And so I get up there and I start singing, and they don't show it on the actual episode, but the whole first line of me singing that song, I'm singing a cappella, and then the band just kicks in together, all in the correct key and everything, playing the song that I'm singing after like one verse. And it's just absolutely mind-boggling to me. And then plus, when you think about, they do 2 seasons at one time. So, and there's again, they have to learn probably like 90 songs for each season. So that's like 100 something songs they have to get perfect, because if they screw up, there's no redoing it. Like if your song gets messed up, they're not gonna like, okay, come audition again because it messes with everything. So it's like you just have to run with it. So they have to be perfect every single time, and they are. I don't like in that whole time. I don't think I heard them mess up one time. And again, maybe they did and they covered it well. They probably would tell me that they did mess up because all musicians are very like. I'll be like, oh, I messed up so much, and my mom will be like, what? I didn't hear anything. So. But they're just absolutely insane and amazing.
For the songs, I mean, were you kind of hand fed those? Did you have any say in it? Like, how did that work, or was it all the coaches?
It actually wasn't very much the coaches. It's they do have like a music team and like a head music producer person there, and basically songs kind of have to be popular enough and relevant enough in order to be sung on the show, or it has to like be really involved in that person's story. And so it either has to have enough like streams or whatever. But like sometimes, like I think the one song that I had the most say in was 99 Red Balloons, and kind of the rest of it was just like, okay, well, she put this on her list. Like it was kind of just slowly getting chosen from this list that I had picked from the beginning. I'm like, can I please redo this list? Where's and then they kept sending us like for our knockouts, there's a really, really fast turnaround for from battles to knockouts. And so that one we had to do one that was already pre-cleared because they didn't have time to get any new songs cleared because we had to start practicing like within a week. And so yeah, they just pick 5 from this pre-cleared list of songs, and then even from there, I'm like, I don't know. And they chose my 5th choice, which was "Keep Holding On" by Avril Lavigne, which I had never personally heard the song before until I was looking through the list because I was just trying to find 5 songs to put on the list, and I'm like, of course they picked my last option, but I think it worked out. We at first when I started singing, it was terrible. I'm so glad that they didn't show very much of my reality for that because it sounded awful. It was way too high, and we hadn't like they filmed like the whole reality thing where you're singing in front of your coach before you go and practice it with their vocal people or like do a different arrangement. So it's like whatever you bring is just like what you have. You have no time to fix it. So if it's too high or like the arrangement's weird, like you're just gonna have to sound bad in front of this celebrity person. Which is the worst. And so I sounded terrible. And then like even Buble said after I got off the stage from singing, he was like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I don't know. I just practiced, I guess." And then we changed some things. But yeah, I'm glad they didn't show a lot because it was, oh, that was the worst.
Honestly, I love the insight. Like, I think a lot of us always wonder how much goes into, you know, producing such a great show like that. And I want to tell you, I grew up kind of, 80s MTV. 99 Red Balloons was a iconic song in my time. But I want you to know this seriously. I thought your version of it that night was one of the best I'd ever seen.
Aw,
So
thank you.
whatever the work you put into that, I thought like I at first I thought, "Oh no, I don't know if this would be." I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure if it'd be a great song at that point in the competition, but then after I saw you do it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, you just killed it." And so I know that I put you on the spot there, but that just shows that, you could take any song if you can make it a little bit your own, how important that is to, really doing well on the show.
Mhm.
And I wanna go back to would have been the battle round. You were doing it basically, it's like a duet with, Braxton Garza, right?
Yes.
And you guys did Danny's song. So very well-known, iconic song. I thought Braxton had a great voice,
Mhm.
and I thought the 2 of you together, that blend of harmony was so good. Like, I wasn't sure which way it was gonna go, to be honest with you, but I always love that when the 2 artists that match up well. You 2 are probably definitely in the top couple, members on Michael's team at that point, for sure, and for him to pitch you up like that, but then we as fans, we get this great performance. Can you tell us a little bit how that all went for you?
Yeah, so that one was definitely just a strange one for everybody involved. I'm like, everybody knew that my voice and his voice were completely different. And everybody was like, how is this gonna work? And we actually, we had a different song beforehand, and like this first time we started singing it, like it just didn't work. Like we had to switch songs. So Danny's song was like the second option. Even then, so then I'm like learning a new song that I've never heard before. Because again, I don't really listen to country music, and also we have to like find the right octave for like both of us to be able to sing. So that's why a lot of times I was just doing the harmonies on the chorus, because switching in, like making it fair, it didn't make the song sound good. And my thing is like I want the song to sound good. I don't care if he takes most of the melodies on that and I take the harmonies. Like if that's what sounds better, that's what's gonna sound better. I don't want it to switch and everybody be like, what's happening? And so and I do think my voice does naturally kind of blend well with other voices. So a lot of people were like, oh, I can't even hear her. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. I'm the harmony. I'm supposed to complement his voice. I'm not supposed to overtake his voice. And even though this is a competition, but I would just rather have the song sound good instead of us like fighting with our voices together. And I think it worked out well for how different our voices are. And he's an amazing singer. And I do wish that he would have gotten saved or stolen, but we were at a point. So how they kind of put out the show is a little bit different than how it's like filmed, like order wise. So, but at the time we got up there were no steals or saves left for us. And so they don't tell you that backstage, but like everybody's texting each other, like how many have they gotten, like how, like we're just behind the scenes in the group chats. And so everybody's like so mad at Buble for not saving. I'm like, he had already used his save and everything. And I'm sure that Kelsey would have stolen him, but she already used her steal. Like there was just only 2 saves left from other teams. So there was nobody, one of us is going home for sure. And I think he's an absolutely amazing singer, and I think he's gonna do absolutely amazing on his own. I don't think he needs the show at all. And I think everybody definitely saw that on the internet. And I mean, there's a bunch of people that have gone through and gotten out at battles or knockouts that have gone on to become absolutely amazing, famous singers. And I think that he definitely has the potential to be one of those in the country music world for sure.
All right. We're not going to do the local roundup this week, but we are going to run the Elegant Sasquatch ad. We'll get back to it next episode. But this week, we just did not have time to get everything together. So I would check all those venues if I were you. I would check 1867. I would check Gray's Keg, the Bourbon, the Zoo Bar, all that, and get out there and support live music. But let's run that ad, and then let's get back to our action-packed episode with Jadyn Cree Olesen.
Dude, last night was a rager. I literally don't remember anything. What happened and why do our beards smell so bad?
It all started when a Sasquatch came out of the woods. He was doing keg stands, he DJ'd the party for a while, he even brought a live skunk to hang out. It was epic. It was getting late when Sasquatch's skunk friend decided to spray his pungent odor everywhere. Now our beards smell like rotten eggs and trash.
Don't worry, friend.
Ah! Is that you, Sasquatch?
It's me, your boy Squatch. Have no fear, my nose-melting follicle friends. I have just what you're looking for to get the skunk stench out of those skunktified beards. The Elegant Sasquatch Beard Company has all sorts of balms, butters, oils, and washes to turn you from skunk to hunk in no time.
Oh, bro, this is a trip. I feel like I'm dreaming, man. I'm gonna go back to bed.
Well, pinch yourself now because you're not dreaming, my friend. I'm here to tell you about all the great things going on at the Elegant Sasquatch Beard Company.
Oh, tell me you have something to help us with these smelly beards.
Not only do I have something for that, but I have so much more. Head on over to elegantsasquatchco.etsy.com to check out the shop and look at all the different beard balms, butters, oils, face washes, and bundles that we have to offer. In addition to all of our great prices, if you mention the Scratch the Vinyl podcast with Scratch30 at checkout, you'll get an additional 30% off of your order.
Oh, man, this beard wash is amazing, and these oils smell so good I could drink it.
Oh, you foolish little human. That's not what they're talking about with hair of the dog.
But seriously, Squatch, these scents are amazing. I already smell better.
Well, on that note, it's time to grab another beer and, oh, it looks like our friend the skunk just arrived. It's time to party. I call dibs on the first game of beer pong.
I think there's a lot of people though that they do go through all of that and then they do realize like, oh, I'm glad I didn't get first because I would have to sign all these contracts and do all these other things. But you being 24, your knowledge that you have about music, like you were saying, I'm the harmony. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. You're not trying to like look at me, you're like, look at the song. This is what we're doing. And I've watched you perform in AM FM quite a bit. And so as a band with AM FM, because we were talking about the other one, that they know everything, they know all of it, and you always look at each other and you kind of know what's going on with each other. And I remember when you went on there a few years ago, and I was like, yes, a woman. Thank God. And then they said how old you were, and then I heard you sing. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's insane. I go, she's gonna be famous someday. Well, look at that. Look at that. And that is so amazing. But I know AFM is a really big part of your life. Um, how did you decide to do that, or why did you decide to go with a couple old dudes like your dads? And they love you so much. By the every time I see Cole, he's just like, it's like my daughter. I love her just so much. They're just cool guys, and you make the show. I mean, they all do it, but you like there's something about your spark and whatever. But how did you start doing AM FM?
So I trust my dad a lot, and he has like, I wouldn't say he gets me into a lot of opportunities, but it's also like he's just like, hey, go try out for this, and then I go do it. But like he's not a person that's like, oh, I have this for you, you're gonna get it no matter what. But it's like the same thing with the show. I auditioned because my dad auditioned, and then I sang on his just randomly, and then they liked me. But it was the same thing. So their old lead singer quit, and they were like, well, shoot, we have a ton of shows still. Hey, Brian, can you cover for us? And he's like, no, I have my own shows. Like I don't like I can't, but I think my daughter can sing. So I'll send her to go audition. And so he was just like, just go, just do it. And I was like, okay. And like I've just gotten used to just, even if I'm like nervous or I'm like, I don't even know what this is, or like I wasn't even looking to become a part of a band, like that just wasn't, I mean, like, yeah, that'd be fun, but I wasn't looking for it. If my dad tells me to go do something, usually I'm just gonna go do it because I trust him with a lot of things, and he's a really good like entrepreneur. He has the best networking skills I've ever seen in my life. And so really I just trust him with anything. And okay, I'll go audition for this 80s cover band with all these old guys that I don't know. And I think it was me and this other girl, this other lady. I don't know how old she was. I know she was older than me, but she had like sang in bands before. She like was in Nashville, and so I was like, "There's no freaking way they choose me, who's never like I've sang in the shower, and that's about it." And like they for some reason still chose me, and they liked the uniqueness of my voice, I guess, and it fit. I mean, I do think that I'm blessed with like a voice that kind of can morph well. Like I'm not gonna sing a Motley Crue song, like I'll sing a Madonna song, and so I do kind of have my tone change a little bit. It's still me, but it's I can sing different songs different ways, which I think is good for a covers band. So I think that benefited me a lot because I mean, there's a lot of male songs. There's a ton of really popular male songs, and there are a lot of female songs that are cool that we can do now because there's not a lot of female singers in Lincoln doing cover like 80s cover band. So we get to do all the cool female songs that nobody else does. So
No, I have a lot of friends that have little girls, or like not little girls. See, I'm old, but younger, young adults, whatever. And they have talked about you, like before you even went on The Voice, all of it. And you gave them inspiration, and they're like, I want to be like her. And you're a great person to want to be like, though. Like you are the sweetest. Your energy on the stage is your own. And that is what I absolutely love. Like when you just go watch somebody and they're trying to mimic somebody else or do something, you have your own. And I mean, just watching you on The Voice or watching you at the zoo, playing at AM FM, you have this beautiful thing about you. And your dad is a beautiful man too. And I think that um he's lucky that he doesn't have some crazy daughter that's like off to, you guys are a lucky family, and you've inspired a lot of people and a lot of young women, and we appreciate that. And I want to know, how has your life changed since you decided to say, I'm not going to sing in the shower anymore. I'm going to do all of this. Has it changed dramatically? And I mean, obviously it has, but is it what is the one thing that has really changed for you?
It's definitely given me like a lot more confidence in myself. I think I grew up just being very strange and very different and like not really finding a place for myself, like where I fit in. And especially just with my school, I graduated with like 50 kids and I was there from third grade to graduating. So we just, everybody knew each other forever in their whole lives. So like the second you don't make friends, you just continue to not have friends for the rest of your life because they're just the same people that are going through the whole year with you. And so I just never really felt like I fully fit in anywhere. And then kind of when I'm on stage, it's like people are here to be entertained. So if I'm weird and silly and cringy, they're being entertained, whether they think I'm cringy or not. Like I'm the entertainer. I mean, you watch anybody on stage like performing a show and they're doing a lot of weird things. If they were just doing out randomly on the street, it would be really weird, but they're doing it on stage, so it's okay. And so I just kind of use that to like be my silly self. And like, I mean, when I'm like, when I was in still living at home, like listening to all my music and like just being like super silly in my room, like that's just kind of what I bring on stage. And I know that there's a lot of people that feel awkward, like maybe do I want to go up and dance? Like nobody else is dancing right now. But it's like, I think if I just am the most awkward person in the room, it helps other people want to get up and have fun. Because if I can't really dance very well, so if I look like an idiot up there, then everybody else is fine with looking like an idiot too, because I'm the one with the spotlight on me. So no one's looking at anybody else dancing.
Jane, just so you know, Brooke does that to us. She drags me and Kane out onto the dance floor and makes sure to make us look silly, and then we don't really care.
We don't care. That's the whole thing. Like when we were at the zoo watching you, Kane's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not, no, I'm good. And I'm like, get your butt up here. Let's go up there and dance with her. Let's do something. I mean, it could have just been us two. And then I think I had like one of your ex family in laws, somebody that I was dancing with for a while too. I mean, you just gotta you make it fun though. I mean, you gotta have fun. You gotta somebody has to be the first person up there, right? Kane,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like if I was like a good dancer, we had some like organized, cool band stuff. Like it'd be intimidating. People would be like, I don't want to dance like, but I'm just being a silly gal up there and doing weird, silly things and acting out all these fun songs. And so I hopefully that encourages people to come up and dance with me. And sometimes if I'm not singing anything on a song, like we do Copperhead Road where I don't sing anything. We do Dancing with Myself where I don't sing anything, and I'll literally go out there into the crowd and dance with myself and wait for everybody else to join me.
That is what Kane said. He goes, there's something about her, like, even if she's not singing, she's doing something that's entertaining, you know? Like I was waiting for you to start doing the robot or something, but you always had this cool presence. And he said that too. And I agreed with him. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how she does it.
It's very like, especially at the beginning. I mean, it's still awkward, but like any time that I wouldn't be singing on a song, I'm like, I feel the most like I am just so awkward. Like I feel so like nervous and awkward. So I'm like, what do I do with myself? But then I just like like I just know I have to do something. And I always say that like Jadyn Cree is like stage performance person, and Jadyn Olesen is like, I'm such an introvert. I'm at home. I don't like like being the center of attention. Don't look at me. I'm the people watcher. And then like I have to like Jadyn Cree has to kick in for me being on stage because she can do what everyone she does. She's like might feel awkward, but she'll still dance and be silly and be up there not doing anything but still doing something, because nobody wants to see me just stand there like, oh, I'm not singing this song, what do I do? Like everybody's gonna be like, what is she doing? So I just have to fake it till I make it.
But doesn't come off that way. Like that is what I said to you, Brooke, was I was most surprised from front person to front person. I fronted a lot of bands, and the thing that I was most impressed with you, I loved your voice, but it's what you did when you weren't singing. You were still entertaining. You were still fun. You were still people had their eyes on you and they're watching you. And that's the key to it. I mean, it was just what you did when we saw you guys at the zoo, when you were playing at Brews at the zoo was, I mean, nothing short of, I mean, it was a magical night. It was hot. I want to ask you, how do you, well, okay, I've been in some pretty hot environments, but I don't know how you wear that bodysuit you wear in those temperatures and still dance. Like I would have had to been on like they need like the CPR machine on me by
Kane,
then.
do you remember Kane? How old is she again?
Yeah, hey, I was young too, but I never looked as cool as that. All right.
I want to see you in a jumpsuit now. Come on.
It's actually a lot thinner than you would think. It looks like a jean material, but it's not. But that's also the worst part about because I got so many voice clothes, but the studio is freezing. So they would put me in really like, I mean, I would have jackets and stuff. And I'm like, I can't wear this when I get back home. Like I'm going to be sweating everywhere. And so, but yeah, that day, that zoo day specifically, that one was actually not one of my best show days. Everybody in the band was pissed off about something that day. And we just had to fake it till we made it. Like Cole's trailer, like one of the tires blew on the way there or something like that. And so his whole trailer got messed up. I was just not feeling it. Like I don't know, I can't remember some like my washer just kept not washing. And so like my clothes just like were taking forever to dry. I was running late. I was getting pissed off. Everybody was upset. There was like issues happening with the in-ears where like they weren't working, so John was upset and everybody's like, don't nobody talk to anybody right now. At the beginning, everybody just go get some beer, just drink something and then come back. And
Sometimes you got to take a break from each
yeah.
other just to get back to normal. And well, we didn't notice it. I mean, we knew some of the things that were happening, but you played it off great. And then I think when the animals came out, during break, and you went over there and fed some animals, and I think everybody else went and had a few more beers and let some steam off, but you didn't notice it.
Yeah, well, we got a job to do. We can't let the outside stuff affect our performances. At least try not to.
It was a lot of fun, minus all the butt sweat and boob sweat and all the other sweats everywhere else. But it was a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to touch back that over the course of kind of getting to know who you were, we talked a lot about your voice, and a common theme was we would say to each other, she's kind of got that Billie Eilish soft side, but it's super powerful, in which to me gave you the ability to sing so many different types of songs, like the genre wise. So, and I'm glad you kind of filled us in kind of how that process worked. So, because we were wondering if like you really knew those songs or if they were favorite songs of yours. And especially being in an 80s cover band, you're like, well, being in your 20s, kind of doing 80s songs may not be your thing. That diversity, you showed that you could cover a lot of diverse stuff. I, I don't know if there's a question in there, but I just want to say it was impressive to see you be able to kind of move in and out of all those genres.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely, because I'm with the 80s cover band, that's kind of what I'm confident in, and especially with how little of time we had to learn stuff and like the pressure of it being on live, like, or just national television in general and in front of people. It's like I did keep wanting to go kind of like, that's why I love 99 Red Balloons. And thank the Lord I had that song for that one because when I got on stage, so for that song specifically, I started off stage singing there and then I went up. And the second I got up onto the stage, my in-ears cut out completely. I had nothing in my ears for the entire rest of the song. And so the whole rest of it was just muscle memory. So thankfully I'd sung it in my band a billion times, but there was also a part where it goes from after the big long note and then it's like quiet and then it goes into the soft ending. And my ears are supposed to be like a click, like so me and the band start at the same time, but I'm like, my ears don't work. So I just had to like guess, but I could barely hear the band because it's just supposed to be in my ears and all the other sounds going out to the audience. So there's no floor monitors or anything. And it was just a nightmare for me. And I was just like hoping and praying that it went well and that I started at the right time. And hopefully if I didn't, the band would just follow me. But yeah, I was very thankful that at least for that happening, I had a song that I knew, like, and kind of could muscle memory with because it was just a song I didn't know. With that song, the instrumentals are so random and like a little bit wonky that if I didn't know it and I had to learn, I'd be like, I don't know where I am. I just am singing and praying.
Well, I've watched a lot of musicians or talked to a lot of them about how they like they have to go learn 50 songs and because you're gonna be in a band because somebody can't show up, so they're gonna go do it. So if all of these lyrics, like I make my own lyrics up half the time. So like actually on the show you have to say the right ones. You don't have any prompts, there's nothing. You just have to memorize all of them, right?
Yep.
I wouldn't even know. I couldn't even walk and do that. That is so us. Like it's crazy.
I definitely wish that for the live rounds they would have prompters there because like they do secret. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but they do have them for the coach duets. And I think that's probably more for the coaches. I'm like, why don't we get them? Like now that a coach is singing with us, now we all get these lyrics up on the board. Like, come on. And so I do wish they would have more for the lives. It's like, I mean, I had 4 days to learn like 5 songs, and it was just like, can I like my brain is fried. And that's why like for the especially the Selena Gomez songs, I had never sung it before. I'd never really heard it before. I was so worried about messing up the lyrics, I could not get them down. I just kept like forgetting which verse went where, and then like one of the lines I completely forgot and I just mumbled, and nobody noticed, thankfully. I just like kind of found words to it. I like mumbled it and maybe ended with like a word that ended somewhere else. And that was just a nightmare of a song. My in-ears were just not right. And that's another frustrating thing with it is like they don't like they have you there for like the stage or like the dress rehearsal. You tell them, hey, maybe this, maybe that, like, and then the next time you hear your ears is live. So if it didn't get fixed correctly or you're something else needs fixed, you're tough luck, kid. So it's like I just missed having like all of that on my phone where I could adjust the levels myself. I'm like, please let us just like get these honed in because I can't like that was just the worst. I felt like I couldn't hear myself right. I just was like so pitchy. I'm like I'm trying to we are not allowed to take them all the way out because they don't like the look of that. Like unless you like absolutely need to. Obviously, when mine cut out completely, so I was trying to like half them out. But then there's like my Come On Eileen one. There's a billion people around me, and there's no in-ear like monitors anywhere near me for that. So I was just like, this is just a nightmare.
Yep. Come on, Eileen. That was one of my favorite ones. I was like, I loved that one so much. And it reminded me of Randy because you get the karaoke people thinking they could do it. We cannot.
Yeah, that shows how much of a pro you were for
No shit.
you to fill us in on all the stuff that went wrong. It sure did come out that way in the final product. Man, you got to be proud of yourself to just handle that adversity in that situation.
Well, that song is supposed to have. I mean, that song is 50% background vocals. And they just cut them from my thing. And like Buble was pissed. He was like, we were only doing this song because you guys agreed for all these background vocals. And then now we cut to the day of and they're gone. Where are they? So they were all gone. So I was just out there hung to dry and they're just nowhere to be found. I don't know what happened with them. Nobody ever said anything like, why weren't they there? Because they were all recorded and they were in my ears. So they didn't ever get put out to anywhere. And I'm like, that song sounds terrible without background vocals. So that was rough. That was a rough day.
At least Michael had your back too, though. He was probably like, but do you and Michael still talk? Do you have his phone number?
Oh yeah, he did a show in England, and he was texting me and about how he's eating like Indian food. I was like, good luck tomorrow with that. That would kill me if I was eating Indian food for a concert.
Might need the puke bucket.
I'm like, good luck with the bathroom tomorrow.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite episodes was when they had Sheryl Crow on. Oh my God. Like she's one of my favorites. And like, I think she stood up and said she would manage you. Like she was like, I want this girl to, and that's quite an endorsement. Like I love Sheryl Crow.
Oh yeah, that was really sweet. Obviously, I mean that's not something that she does. She doesn't really manage people, but if that's still like coming from her, it's just that one of the biggest compliments. I mean, and like her and just like, I mean, even singing in front of Cynthia was just the most insane thing. Because for me personally, I classify Cynthia as one of the best vocalists like of our time. Like that girl can sing the heck out of anything, and just it makes it look so effortless. Like and can bring all that emotion and everything into it. And she's just the fact that I'm having to A, sing in front of her, and then B, now I'm getting complimented by her was just
You actually had millions of famous people watching you. And you had a lot of famous people that were your fans. But I mean, you have so many fans, so many. And do you have anything in the making right now? Because I have a feeling there's something in the future. Is there anything you can talk about?
I do. I have actually like 3 songs that I've been working on. And they are almost all done. I've been working with the producer in Nashville. And he's currently like finishing them. We still have to record like a bridge on 2 of the songs, but we're getting some done. I'm still like finding out kind of what I want to do. I'm still like my brain is A, new to this, and then B, so picky like with music. Like I know it when I hear it, but it's very difficult for me to like, and after I say no, like be like, but do this instead, because I don't know like what to ask for. It's like sometimes it's just something in my head, but then I have a really bad habit of getting a song stuck in my head and unknowingly, and then maybe I'm putting that into the song and then realize later like, oh, this is already a song that I've already heard before. And so I'm definitely learning, and hopefully this is definitely I feel like it's going to be first songs and the feeling of them, and then I think we'll grow from here, just like after I keep learning like what I like and being able to express what I like and say what I like. 'Cause these were all written like within like 3 days of like being in Nashville. At least two of them were like fully written and done and recorded it in 3 days. So it's like they're still new and fresh, but hopefully we get those done soon and maybe we can get something out.
Oh, I think you will. And I think that your dad said something about you guys doing maybe a little something together too. I don't know who, but that would be really cool if you two did something. Just a nice little ditty, maybe a Christmas record or something. Do you have vinyls, by the way? Just real quick, do you
I
have?
do. Yes, I do. I love listening to like classical on vinyl just because I feel like that's like where classical music's meant to be. And like I'll clean and just listen to classical music. But I do have some like I'll have I have Billie Eilish's album, I have like the 21 Pilots album, I have some like soundtracks, like I have a Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack on there too. So yeah, I can't remember all the other ones, but I do have a whole shelf of vinyl. But my cats, I think, might have broke my vinyl player because they sat on top of it and squished it. And so I might need to go buy a new one. I just like the look of it being there, like an open, and I hate closing it. And so, but I just need to learn to close it.
Oh, I do the same thing. Like I swear I've ruined so many of them, but I just go buy more, I guess, and then I don't eat for the day.
I need like one of those ones with the glass cover.
Or
So it's like I
yeah,
can still see it, but my cats won't sit on it and it
yeah.
won't be good.
Parents had one in the 70s. I want that same old school one too. I love those and it's even scratchier sounding. Like I don't want those new ones that you that
Yeah.
sound like
No,
it's
like this is just a speaker at this point, it feels like.
yeah. So okay, with AM/FM, do you guys have some shows coming up like before Christmas?
I
Anytime
think
soon?
so. I don't know how many public ones we have. I'd have to go look at the schedule. I know we're obviously slowing down now, and I don't think we have anything in September because I have like a wedding that I'm in September. I think everybody's schedules are kind of really busy in September. And so yeah, we're just busy for that. I think the next one's in October. I know we always have like a Halloween one, but that's usually a private party. So I have no idea when the next public one is. They're just like all shows to me until I like really look and I'm like, oh, that one's probably public.
But you're all over, like you're on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, we can find you wherever, right? If we want to really like go see you again for the 100th time, Brooke.
Yeah,
Sorry,
for
I'm not
sure.
that big of a stalker. I just like to sit in Kane's closet with the skeletons.
Yeah, no, for sure. Our website for sure has all of our shows, and they'll either say like the event or it'll say private event. So that one's more clear.
Well, it's weird how we had this episode today because I was at the gym before the show and there was literally a guy wearing an AM/FM shirt. And I wanted to shake him and be like, we're having Jadyn on the show today, but I'm sure he thought I'd be nuts. But it was you guys are just so massive as a band. Like, I mean, compared to like I look at like all of the cover bands that I was in, and even the ones that I did get some notoriety in, it wasn't anywhere close to what you guys had. So I just think that you guys are doing a phenomenal job. Local wise, I mean, you guys are on such a high echelon. And I tell Cole this all the time, and Cole is such a humble guy. But I mean, he's a hell of a guitar player. You guys, you really did luck out with such a great band. And don't take anything away from yourself. I've had females in the band and they were there's some of them could either not all of them, but some of them could be a pain in the ass, they could be a prima donna, they could be all you're not any of that. You're just so likable, you're just so genuine, and you come off that way as well to people. Man, I'm just so pumped that you've been on the show today.
Thank you. Yeah, I got lucky. I think I feel like maybe I should have been in like a really shitty band to like start and just to like know what it's like. But I just immediately got put into like one of the like best bands of Lincoln, and ever since I've joined, we keep winning that for some reason. And so I think I got really really lucky for sure. And maybe who knows, maybe I'll be a prima donna because now I have my expectations super high for bands now.
That's probably what it is. Probably some of them that I've had. Maybe they were like huge in other bands, But then they come to our band and they're just like, I got a guy that looks like a farmer on guitar. I'm running around, rolling around on the floor on, trying to get people's attention. And I didn't even need it. We had a beautiful lady up front, but you're doing a hell of a job. I want to see if Randy was the most excited, not that we all weren't, but Randy was the most excited about this episode because he was such a massive fan of The Voice and you and your dad. So, Randy, before we close this out, do you have anything else you want to cover?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I watch every season, and usually I have a front runner or a favorite that I think. Plus, you have people that I think you go, wow, they're really good, and you kind of wonder. This season in particular that you were on, I thought when it came down to the end, there was probably about 8 legitimate singers that could have made the finals. And in fact, Jalen actually was out and got back in by the special coach return,
Mhm.
But the one thing I said was this lineup for the finals was one of the most diverse. You had a little of everything. And probably the only thing, probably to me, working against you was you happened to be you had the coach that had 2 people in the finals. So it was quite possible that you lost votes because, let's admit, I thought Adam David was very good too. Like, I thought he was probably outside of, like, you were probably my number one. You were the one I voted for. But outside of him, if I thought, well, if Jada doesn't get it, I'd probably be pretty happy for Adam David. Here's a guy that's a, long haul in the music business, has this unique growly voice, covers some great songs, and I thought he poured his heart into the episodes.
Mhm.
Um, but I did tell everybody I thought you had an edge because of the variety of songs you did, your ability to, you know, your voice could cover a lot, and you had this, like everybody's saying, you had this kind of unique thing, kind of like what we were saying was kind of like Billie Eilish. She was kind of an introvert, but then pours everything into her music and it
Mhm.
comes out. And I felt like that's what we got out of you. So not winning didn't matter. I thought every performance you did was great, and it was nice to see. I thought everybody in that final deserved a shot, and I was rooting for everybody. Really, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea how it was gonna go. It's like every single, even with the 12, like when we went from 12 to 5, I was not expecting to be in the final 5 at all. I don't know if y'all saw my face, but I was just as surprised as everybody else. Like they zoomed in on our team and I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be Adam or Kaya. And then it was like, Jadyn. What? So that was like insane. I was like mentally prepared. I was like, I'm just gonna have like this next week to relax. I'm gonna tan. I'm gonna like just like have fun. And then all of a sudden, nope, you gotta learn 5
Yeah,
songs in
yeah, I
4
got to
days
learn
and
five
get
new
5,
songs.
yeah, 5 different wardrobe changes and everything. And it's gonna be super crazy and hectic and live now. And just, oh, that was absolutely insane, and I was not mentally ready for that because I genuinely did not see myself getting to that top 5, let alone, like, not having to compete for it. I thought, like, "Okay, I'll be bottom no, or maybe a super save, like, have to or, like, whatever that's called, and just have to sing again." Thankfully, I didn't have to do that because I did not know the lyrics to that song either very well, so I would have been pretty screwed. But yeah, I was
Well,
very
well,
lucky.
we feel very fortunate you gave us some really super insight to the whole process, and just honestly, just taking the time out of your schedule to sit down with us today. We couldn't have been happier to have you on the show. So thank you so much, Jaden, for spending a little time with us.
Of course, thanks for having me, this is fun.
You're a beautiful, wonderful person, woman, and power to the women. Woo! Like, I just love it. Yes, you are strong, and I know, you know, your family personally, your friends, some of your friends, you are a genuinely nice person. And that is what makes it even better to see you on stage. And you just, the personality, the strength that you have, the talent, we appreciate you and never give up. And don't listen to if anybody ever gives you gruff, you can come to Mama Brooke because
Okay.
I will say something. So
Alright. Of
just stay strong. And gosh, you are so talented and beautiful and wonderful. And thank you so much for being on here.
course, thank you, you're so sweet.
And the Havelock really came out of out of Brooke, you know it. Don't mess with Mama Bear Brooke. And me being a dad of two girls, there is something special about it. You know what I mean? So I definitely I just think your journey is just so great. And for Lincoln, I want you to know that you already know this, but you need to keep being reminded. This community, we all love you. We are all pulling for you. Even if you didn't live here, I would have voted for you anyway because I felt like you were the best one. You know, you just what you have accomplished and what you have going on for you is just so great. And I hope that you just keep rising and rising and rising. So thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate you.
Thank you. You guys are so sweet. It's so fun.
All right, Scratch the Vinyl listeners. So we gave you another monster guest. We just keep pulling them in for you guys. I loved this interview, and I hope you guys did too. We're so glad to have Jadyn on, and it's only going up from here, everybody. It just keeps getting better and better. So you have to tune in every week. So tune in here. We'll catch you on the flip side here on
Scratch the Vinyl.
Man, what a show. I mean, honestly, what an unbelievable treat. Lincolnites, Nebraskans, people all over the world. We had AMFM's own Jadyn Cree Olesen. She was on The Voice. She was awesome. She was a great guest. Let's talk about our sponsors now. Let's wrap this thing up the right way. Let's first off start with Sly Ink this time. You know, Sly Ink Tattoo. Bryce is a personal friend of mine. He is the best in the business. If you want to cover up those tramp stamps, put a big target on your back, or maybe you want like a giant shark with muscles and a machine gun or something, then you need to go to Sly Ink Tattoo, and Bryce will hook you up with that sort of thing. So that's what he does. So go to Sly Ink Tattoo. Roots Music Shop now. Roots Music Shop is the best in the biz. I go there for everything. My cool factor instantly went up. As soon as I bought some instruments from there, Ryan has always done me well. He buys, he sells, he trades, he has records there. He has all sorts of instruments and little contraptions and things for you to buy something cool and become the cool guy finally. So go to Roots Music Shop. Backtrack Records. What can I say about Backtrack Records? Well, I'm going to tell you that it's the best place in Lincoln to go for all your record needs. You can also get CDs there. They have a boatload of cassettes there. They have it all. They even have like stereo equipment for you to buy, turntables and different things. So go there. Tell them that Scratch the Vinyl sent you. I can't think of a better way to spend a morning, 10 a.m. when they open up, or an afternoon, than to go to Backtrack Records. American Senior Benefits. Ask for Jason DeGosh. Oh my gosh, it's Jason DeGosh. Ask for him. He's the man with the plan, and he will set you up with a plan that is going to be great for you, tailored for you. So get a hold of American Senior Benefits and ask for Jason DeGosh. Lil Bill's Barbecue. I've been talking about this for a while. There's 8 flavors. 8 of the best flavors of your life. There's all sorts of different flavors. I've been telling you about it, but lately I've been injecting it into my muscles, and now I'm as big as Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm literally, I'm thinking about joining the WWE. I might even take on the Big Show or the Undertaker one of these days and slam them to the ground because I'm drinking Lil Bill's Barbecue, and it is the best around. So that's your show, everybody. Thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week to another great episode of Scratch the Vinyl.